Today on my show, I have a special guest, and he is a very popular Japanese YouTuber. You've seen his food videos, and he is Ghib Ojisan. Hi, welcome to my show.
Hi, Simon. Thank you for having me. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it's so good to talk to you in person. And of course, Jip, I gotta ask you, what have you been doing lately, and what can people expect from your next video?
Yeah, I guess I'm doing the same thing every day. Just think up of, I make YouTube videos, so think up of a good video idea, film it, before filming, scripting it, film it, edit it, upload it, see how my audience like it, then just continue.
Do we get a
That's
clue
just
as to which area you'll be covering next, like in Singapore?
next. Oh, I'm not really sure, but I know my audience love eating food. So a lot of food videos coming up. This is one big culture shock. I'm from Japan, but I noticed like a lot of people in Singapore. Actually, yeah, most of them are foodie, and that's quite interesting as a Japanese. Like in Japan, you'll find a lot of people who don't really love eating that much. Singaporeans are very passionate about eating, so a lot of food videos coming up. I'm also planning videos I special to me, which I can only make, like inviting Japanese guests, uh, talking about Singapore from a Japanese perspective, like how it's like working in Singapore and living in Singapore as a Japanese. What's so special? What's so difficult? Also, recently I basically talked to random Japanese passerby tourists, and I asked them
Hmm.
if they wanted to try an iconic Singaporean cuisine, and I filmed that reaction and stuff. So a lot of food and those Japanese related content in Singapore.
I really enjoy your videos, and sometimes I watch them before I go to bed, really. And it's like, a feel good sort of thing. So thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
all your videos on YouTube. And what would you recommend for supper? Because now it's 10 something in the night.
Oh,
So what's good for supper, for my listeners in Singapore?
I'm not an expert for sure, but I love going to Geylang. That area is just so bustling, so many good food. One good stall I found out recently is it's called L32 Handmade Noodles. Have you heard of it, Simon? Yeah, they
No, I
have like
haven't been there.
oh really? Oh, you have to. They have one of the best banh mian. The noodles are handmade over there. It's just so chewy and QQ. Like I never
Wow.
had this noodle. It's amazing. I'm in love with it right now.
Ban Mian, yes, yes, I gotta try that. And I've been meaning to go and try the food at Geylang. It's so popular. So thank you so much for your recommendation. Now, how did you become, so popular as a YouTuber? So tell me the gist of your story.
Okay, sure. It wasn't intentional in the beginning. I was just uploading videos for fun, and it was about like I was basically traveling the world with my guitar. I quit my company. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, which was traveling
Mm.
the world. I brought my guitar with me, and I wanted to make money on the road. So I was playing like Studio Ghibli music. Do you know Studio Ghibli? Like they're known for like
Yes.
Spirited Away, My Neighborhood Totoro. So I was playing those music, and I just happened to film some videos of myself playing that. And my girlfriend, which is my wife currently, she recommended me to just upload it on YouTube. And I was kind of scared in the beginning because, what if my
Mm.
friend watches it and, what if it only gets like 5 views and my friends watch it and they'll laugh at me and stuff. But my wife encouraged me to do it, and I just did it. And somehow the algorithm picked up one video, and that video is like myself playing Studio Ghibli music in Belgium, and I don't know why but it has like 10 million views right now. So that kind of
Wow.
opened up. Yeah, and that's when I thought, oh, maybe I should do this full time. I always loved watching YouTube, so that's when I considered doing full time. And yeah, but
And eventually you
sorry,
found
just
yourself into food videos.
I mean, Singapore videos, I would say. It was quite tough though, because in the beginning, I got my audience through guitar videos, right? People was
Mm.
expecting guitar videos,
Mm.
traveling with my guitar. But then I settled down to kind of spend time with my wife, and she didn't want me to travel, all the time, because then what's the point of getting married, right? So it was kind of frustrating for me because I wanted to travel to sustain my channel. But then I got married, and I also had to, spend time with my wife. So it was quite tough that time. It was like 2018. Like I wanted to travel and make videos, but it was difficult. But then I just continued to make my videos in Singapore, like working in
Mm,
Singapore, eating in Singapore. It was doing very bad because my audience, they subscribed because they wanted to watch guitar videos, right?
mm.
So it wasn't doing really well. But I don't know, for some reason, one video I made in Yishun went
Yes, I
viral
saw
in.
that, and then I saw you eating the mango. That was wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I just happened to go to Yishun because Singaporeans tell me it's dangerous. So I wanted to find out if it's really dangerous, and I just happened to put English subtitles for that video, and somehow it got picked up by many local media, and now I'm a content creator in Singapore. So I thought it was very interesting. Life, it was very bad. I thought like, oh, making videos in Singapore is not good. I didn't get the views. I wanted to travel, but I continued to make video in Singapore, and it eventually kind of opened up a new path of becoming a YouTuber in Singapore instead of traveling. And I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, you never know what happens, right? When you open one
Yeah.
door and then something just changes along the way. And well, now you have like 45,000 to 400,000 viewers for your YouTube videos. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I gotta ask you this, I've been watching your videos and you often, feature your wife and your mother-in-law, but covered, right? Some privacy, you can't see their
Yeah.
faces. So tell me about the
Mm.
relationship that you have with your wonderful wife and mother-in-law.
Oh wow. My in-laws treat me like a real son, and I feel like that's
Mm.
very special. Something typical Japanese in-laws will not do. We always have this, barrier. Yeah. So my especially my mother-in-law, she's very kind. She really treats me like her son. I still remember when I first moved into their house. I was kind of shy, lah. So I didn't. I was washing my own underwear at the sink, but then my mother-in-law found out, and she said, "What are you doing, lah? Just give it to me. You are my son. Let me wash your underwear." And that's when I thought, oh, she really treated me like a real son. I was really paise, I was really
Yes.
paise, but now I'm just like, I let her do that. I also treat her like my real mom. So it's very like the I feel like, yeah, it's very nice to have in-laws like them.
How nice, right? True sincerity. Like, there's no like, invisible barrier, right?
Yeah,
You are just who you are, and she's who she is. What about
exactly.
your
That's right.
wife?
My wife also, she's it's interesting. She's my wife, but she's also my best friend. So we
Hmm.
always hang out together. Always hang out together. Like I actually, to be honest, I don't really have many friends in Singapore because I just want to prioritize time with my family and my wife. So yeah, always going out with her, always eating food, always watching Netflix. Yeah,
It's nice to
very
see
fun.
her, joining you in your videos as well. Although we don't get to see her face, but it's nice to hear,
Yeah.
the interaction, wonderful chemistry that you have with your wife. Now,
Yes.
living in Singapore, you've picked up some Singlish, as I've heard, and my listeners have also heard. So, what are some of your favorite Singlish words?
Wow, I have too many, but maybe can is the first one I learned. I don't know if it's considered Singlish, but saying can. Also,
Oh, okay. I think it's more of like a local way of expression rather than Singlish.
yeah, Singlish maybe. Walao, is that a Singlish?
Yes, it is. Well, I'll
Walao.
definitely Singlish.
I always say this. It's very like it just come out from my mouth like autopilot. Walao, tiao. I just learned from my in-laws and my wife.
So you gotta teach me how to say good in Japanese. I only know like oishi, right? Delicious. But how do you say
Oh,
good in Japanese?
oh, here's a good one. It's called psycho. It sounds
Psycho.
like psycho. It sounds like
Yes.
psycho in English, but yeah, but it basically means amazing. So you can use that for like almost all
Amazing.
occasions.
Psycho, right?
Psycho.
Like the
Yeah,
anime, the Japanese anime Psycho. Psychopaths?
yeah, can.
Yeah. And as a Japanese, what sort of culture shock did you first get when you came to Singapore? Besides like, having Singaporeans like put a packet of tissue paper on the table to choke their seat, right? Or table. What else did you notice when you first came to Singapore? Culture shock.
The biggest one maybe like mm, people are incredibly friendly even towards strangers because in Tokyo and Osaka you don't really talk to
Yes.
strangers, right? In Singapore it's quite normal. I remember I was commuting with my kick scooter, right? When I had a job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then the bus driver asked. She spoke to me in Chinese, so I didn't really understand. But then she asked me in English. She said, "Where do you get your scooter?" A bus driver. That never happens in Japan. Like
Japan. Oh.
you don't talk to customers like that. Like, well, where do you get your kick scooter? So like that kind of happens to in a lot of occasions in Singapore. You just like ask some questions to strangers, and I thought that was very nice. It feels very like more intimate, even
Mm-hmm.
towards someone you don't know. Mm.
And everyone in Singapore who's a senior to you would be uncle or auntie, right?
Oh yes, that too. Yes, yes, yes.
Now, I saw your video on Goku Japanese restaurant in Mohammed Sultan, which was, which serves izakaya. So, what's another Japanese restaurant in Singapore that you can recommend to my listeners?
Oh, okay, Simon. There's a lot because to be honest, Singapore's Japanese food is pretty good. But I think my recent favorite is the Skewer Bar at Geylang. I'm not sure if you heard of it, but they serve traditional Japanese food like yakitori, skewers and stuff. But what makes them unique is that they have this Japanese Singaporean fusion. Many of those dishes, like ota tamago yaki, like
Oh,
putting
wow,
ota
interesting.
inside, yeah,
Yes.
putting ota inside the tamago. Also, like no hyong maki. It's just this beautiful fusion of Singapore and Japan, and they execute it so well. Great with beer. Yeah, I want to visit them like right now. It's it's making me
And
drool.
it's called the Skewers,
The skewer bar.
the Skewer Bar.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what has been the biggest challenge, for you in life? Everyone has their challenges, right? So, how did you manage this challenge?
Oh wow, my biggest challenge. I think becoming like oh becoming a YouTuber was, I think,
Mm,
a tough thing for me. I mean, I already talked with you how difficult it was to become a content creator in Singapore because my channel started out as a guitar channel, but I
mm,
settled down to Singapore and now I had to become a content creator in Singapore. So it was difficult because I'm making videos in Singapore, but people are not watching it, you know. So it was
mm,
difficult to kind of keep the motivation, but I think what I learned is that it's important to just continue, don't give
mm,
up, because what in the end, what's important is about continuing, you know,
mm.
just continuing to make videos in Singapore, and eventually, I mean, of course, it's luck also, but it's also important. It's also because I didn't quit that one of my videos went viral in Singapore, and that's how I
Yes.
became like a, kind of like a relevant creator in Singapore. So that was the biggest challenge for me becoming a YouTuber and just pursuing my goal and my dream.
Perseverance and resilience. And I recall you, having a video where by your mother-in-law actually gave you some advice, about that, yeah?
Yeah,
About
yeah,
being more
many
resilient.
insights.
Yeah, so
Yes,
she gave you some
yeah.
good advice. And
Mm.
talking about like good values in society, I see you as a very nice person. You have like good vibes, even though we just watch you in video, but you send out good vibes to people, and that's why I continue to watch you. So tell me, what good values do you think society needs to preserve and even practice?
Oh, okay. Sure. I think maybe two. One is like just it's very simple, being nice to others,
Mm,
and it's so simple, but people often forget. You know, people become selfish, right? And then we
mm,
all love ourselves the most, but just being nice to others, just treat people how you want other people to treat you is very important, and just building relationships and just living a happy life. And also, what I'm trying to do recently is to kind of feel gratitude. Just right now, I actually I write a journal. I have it here every day, every morning. I write
Mm.
what I feel grateful about my previous day. So that kind of helps me to kind of just be humble in a way. Just
Mm-hmm.
be thankful of what others done for me, and then I'll think of how I can return that kindness. And I feel like maybe it really helped me like mentally. So I recommend people to kind of feel gratitude and express it.
I think that's so important. Yeah, showing gratitude, and just believing that, well, you are also that you're also blessed, right, with many things in life. Okay, Jib Ojisan, what is your current dream or goal that you would like to achieve in life?
Yes. I To be honest, I'm pretty much content with my life right now. I'm living the lifestyle I dreamed of, but I feel like it's just about honing my craft, which is like making better videos, because making
Hmm.
videos is like it's something you can never become perfect at, like any other job. So just making better videos, more engaging videos, better videos with better stories. And my personal goals are like just learning new things and trying new things, because I notice I'm already 33, and I notice I'm just doing work every day. So I was thinking maybe I want to, I don't know, like just move to China or Taiwan and just study Chinese for like 3 months. That was like one of my dreams actually, or do some, like bungee jump, do something crazy, and that kind of excites me. So maybe those two.
Yeah, who knows, right? Like time out, for yourself to reinvent, certain aspects of your
Yeah.
own life, right? Yeah. And what's a
Mhm.
place in Tokyo that you think, Singaporeans must check out? Because these days, plenty of people are, traveling to Japan, right? Especially
Mm.
Tokyo. So what's your recommendation for good, affordable, let's say, yakiniku or Japanese barbecue?
Japanese barbecue.
Yeah, I
To
like
be honest,
that.
yeah, to be honest, is it okay? Osaka. I give you a recommendation, Osaka,
Yeah,
because
sure.
I'm actually from
Osaka, yeah.
Osaka. Yeah, I'm from Osaka, so it's not really barbecue, but there's a restaurant called Miyawaki, and this
Hmm.
restaurant only the locals know. I never
Oh,
seen food there, so it's kind of
Miyawaki.
yes, it's a secret place. It's not yakiniku, so sorry. It's a beef innard hot pot,
Oh,
and the
okay.
soup is
Yes.
just so tasty. It's miso based, so it's very savory. It got this umami from the miso. It's just the beef intestine. It just melts in your mouth. It's full of umami, full of fat. You definitely need some beer together. It's one of my best restaurants in Osaka. I truly recommend.
That sounds so delicious. And tell me,
Yeah.
how do you unwind after a tiring day of filming? Let's say you've done plenty of hours of filming. Then what do you do to relax?
Uh, so I try to relax. So I try to work 6 days per week. So on my
Mm-hmm.
day off, I usually just hang out with my mother-in-law and my wife. So we did something very Singaporean, which is just go for a kopi, and we just talk a lot, talk about I can't even recall what we talk about, because it's just our everyday life, nothing really special, but that just really helps me relax. I also like watching Netflix with my wife, watching YouTube. I love drinking, so drinking beer, whiskey, sake, and I feel like journaling really helps. Writing about like how my day went, write about how I felt doing the activities I've done, and that kind of helps me reflect on what kind of person I am, what I want to do in the future, what I don't want to do anymore. So yeah, those three.
Nice. And tell me if there's a quote that you want to share with my listeners. There could be a Japanese quote, right? Something
Mm.
meaningful to you. What would that quote be?
I would say 継続は力なり. 継続は力なり. It means continuance is power. So I feel like
Mm,
I'm able to have my current lifestyle. I'm very blessed. I feel very lucky, but I feel like it's because I did not quit making content on the internet. So continuing is important for me. Yeah.
how nice, yeah. And that's a very meaningful quote you just mentioned. I think it's so important for us to remember that when it gets tough, right, we must find the willpower to continue. So that's a message for my 1FM 91.3 listeners as well. Thank you so much, Ghib Ojisan, for being on the show. And before you go, I got to spell your name because, people want to watch your videos. Some of them don't know the spelling. So it's Ghib for Jib, right? You pronounce it as Jib. And
Yeah.
Oji-san is Ojisan. Did I get that right?
Perfect, Simon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll continue to watch your videos. Thank you also for being on my show. And I wish you well always, including your wife and your mother in law and the rest of your family.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Good times. Greatest hits. 1FM 91.3.